The distress beacon lit up the entire command deck. Instructor Vexithal's primary eyes widened. His secondary eyes dilated in pure terror. 23 cadets, stranded, on designation XR447, a Class 3 Deathworld. They have 48 hours, Vexithal whispered. His mandibles clicked frantically. No species has survived 72 hours on that hellscape. Commander Thross leaned forward, her scales turned pale gray. What's their status? Landing pod compromised, emergency supplies scattered. They're exposed. Send extraction immediately. Nearest ship is 30 hours out. Vexithal pulled up the planet's profile. The data made his blood run cold. Atmospheric storms, predators with biothermal tracking, carnivorous plant life, toxic spore clouds at dusk. Thross closed her eyes. 23 families would receive terrible news soon. Then something happened. The communication channel crackled to life. A voice came through, calm, almost bored. Command, this is Cadet Jake Morrison. We've established a perimeter, found a water source, built shelter. Everyone's accounted for. Vexithal's translator struggled with the human's tone. It detected no fear, no panic. Cadet Morrison, Vexithal said slowly. You understand your situation. You're on a Class 3? Yeah, we saw the classification. The human paused. Honestly, reminds me of camping in the Rockies. Little warmer, maybe. Rain's pretty mild. Silence filled the command deck. The rain is acidic, Vexithal stammered. We noticed. Set up bark canopies. Works fine? There are predators, apex-level hunters. Saw some big cat-looking thing earlier. Kept its distance after Tommy threw a rock at it. Vexithal looked at Thross. Thross looked at Vexithal. Neither spoke. Listen, Morrison continued. We're good until extraction. Got some Vryn cadets here pretty shaken up, and the Pelthians are having trouble with the gravity, but we'll manage. How are you? Vexithal couldn't finish the sentence. How are we what? How are you alive? Morrison laughed. Actually laughed. Dude, it's just a forest. We've got this. Vexithal initiated full surveillance protocols. He needed to see this. What he saw over the next 48 hours would change galactic survival training forever. But more importantly, it would answer a question the galaxy had been asking since humans joined the Confederation. Why did humanity classify their own homeworld as mostly harmless? The answer was simple. Terrifying, but simple. Earth wasn't mostly harmless. Earth was a Class 12 death world, and humans had no idea that wasn't normal. 30 hours earlier. Cadet Jake Morrison checked his harness for the third time. The Galactic Academy transport hummed around him. 22 other cadets sat in their acceleration pods. This was supposed to be routine, a simple orbital drop. Land on XR447, establish camp, practice survival protocols, get picked up, graduate, easy. First time? Asked the cadet next to him. Morrison turned. A Vryn female. 4 arms. Crystalline skin that refracted light. Yeah, you? Second year. Name's Kirish. These drops are standard. Boring, actually. Morrison smiled. I'm Jake, Earth delegate. Kirish's face did something that might have been surprise. Human? I've heard stories. Good ones, I hope. Disturbing ones, mostly. Before Morrison could respond, the pod bay door opened. Instructor Vexithal entered. His insectoid body moved with military precision. Cadets, today's exercise is simple. Survive 48 hours. Work as a team. Apply your training. A Pelthian cadet raised one of his 6 limbs. Sir, what's the planet classification? Class 3 Deathworld. The pod bay erupted in nervous chatter. Morrison leaned toward Kirish. That bad? Class 3? Her skin turned dark purple. That's where things can actually kill you. As opposed to? Training planets are usually Class 0.5, maybe Class 1 for advanced cadets. Morrison shrugged. Can't be worse than Australia. What's Australia? Continent on Earth. Everything there wants you dead. Kirash stared at him. Why do you live there? Beautiful beaches. The drop began before she could respond. The pod shook, rattled. Atmosphere screamed past the hull. Then impact. The landing was hard. Too hard. Morrison's harness dug into his shoulders. Warning lights flashed. Something was wrong. Brace positions, someone shouted. The pod hit ground, skipped, hit again. Metal screamed, then silence. Morrison unbuckled, checked himself. Nothing broken. He looked around. Most cadets were conscious, shaken but alive. Except the Pelthian who'd asked about classification. He wasn't moving. Morrison rushed over, felt for a pulse, found one. Weak, but there. Medical supplies, Morrison shouted. A tall human woman, military buzz cut, dark skin, appeared beside him. I've got this. Cadet Lisa Harper, field medic training. Jake Morrison, what do you need? Space and the medkit. Morrison backed up, found the medkit. The container had cracked open on impact. Supplies were scattered everywhere. This was bad. Outside the pod, thunder rolled. Rain began hammering the hull. Tommy Wu, another human cadet, checked the door mechanism. Exit's jammed. I'll need help. Morrison joined him. Together they forced the door open. The smell hit first. Wet earth, rotting vegetation, something else, something chemical. That's not normal rain, Morrison said. Tommy stuck his hand out, pulled it back quickly. Definitely acidic, not too strong. Maybe pH 4? We need shelter. Kirash appeared behind them. Her skin had gone completely purple. Fear color. This is impossible. The rain alone should be melting our equipment. Morrison looked at her. You've never seen acid rain? Only in simulations. Species don't survive it. It's just rain. Morrison grabbed his pack. Come on, we've got work to do. The forest was alive, not metaphorically. Actually alive. The trees moved, slowly, turning toward the cadets as they passed. Branches reached down with disturbing intelligence. Stay away from the red ones, Morrison said. He pointed at a massive tree with crimson bark. See those pods? Probably carnivorous. A Zelthian cadet, six-legged insectoid, chittered nervously. How do you know this? Venus flytraps back home, similar structure. Venus flytraps? Plants that eat insects. The Zelthian stopped walking. Your planet has plants that hunt? Sure, Venus flytraps. Pitcher plants, sundews, dozens of species. And you just live with this? Morrison grinned. They're pretty small. Mostly. Mostly? Harper called from up ahead. Found a clearing, defensible position, near water. The team moved quickly. 17 cadets capable of walking. 5 injured. 1 critical. Morrison helped Tommy carry the unconscious Pelthian. His name was Thelkur. His breathing was shallow. Bad sign. They reached the clearing. It was perfect. High ground, clear sight lines. A stream nearby. We need shelter before dark, Morrison said. Tommy, Lisa, work on medical station. Kirish, get the Vryn team gathering water. Filter it 3 times. Everyone else, shelter building. A Corvan cadet, reptilian aggressive, stepped forward. Who put you in charge, human? Morrison met his eyes. Nobody. But I grew up camping in places like this. So unless you've got better experience, I suggest we skip the politics. The Corvan, name tag read Rix Tar, hissed, but backed down. They worked fast. Humans showed the others how to build lean-tos, how to identify structural branches, how to use broad leaves for roofing. Your species has done this before, Kirish said. She watched Morrison lash a support beam. thousands of years, before cities, before technology. This is how we lived. On a death world? We didn't know it was a death world. It was just home. Thunder cracked overhead. The rain intensified. Then they heard it. A roar, deep, resonant, coming from the forest. Every non-human froze. Morrison stopped working, listened carefully. "Big cat," he said. "Maybe 300 meters, upwind." "How can you possibly know that?" Rickstar demanded. "Sound carries differently based on distance, and if it's upwind, it hasn't smelled us yet." Another roar, closer. "Everyone inside the shelters," Morrison ordered. "Stay quiet, stay still." They moved quickly, silently. Morrison grabbed a thick branch, about a meter long, heavy. "What are you doing?" Kirish whispered. "Making sure it knows we're not prey." "That's insane. You'll get killed." "Predators test boundaries. If we hide, it'll think we're weak. If I stand my ground, it'll reconsider." "This isn't Earth," Morrison smiled. "Predators are predators everywhere." He walked to the clearing's edge, stood tall, made himself look big. The creature emerged from the trees. It was massive, 4 meters long, 6 legs, crystalline teeth, eyes that glowed with bioluminescence, beautiful and terrifying. Morrison didn't move, didn't run. The creature approached, slowly, testing. It got within 10 meters. Morrison raised the branch, slammed it against a tree. The crack echoed through the forest. "Go on!" he shouted. "Get out of here!" The creature stopped, tilted its head. Then Tommy appeared beside Morrison. He held a flaming torch. Quick thinking. "Yeah, get lost." Lisa joined them. Then another human cadet. Then another. 5 humans, standing their ground, making noise, looking dangerous. The creature watched them for 10 seconds, then turned and melted back into the forest. Morrison lowered the branch. His hands were shaking, but his voice stayed steady. "See? Just needed to show confidence." Kirish stared at him from the shelter. Her skin had gone pure white, terror color. "You're all insane," she whispered. Morrison heard her anyway. He laughed. "Yeah, we get that a lot." Night fell like a hammer. The darkness on XR447 was absolute. No moons, heavy cloud cover, just rain and wind and unknown sounds from the forest. The humans had built a fire. It took effort. The wood was damp. The rain was persistent. But humans understood fire in ways other species didn't. It was coded into their DNA. Survival instinct from a million years of evolution. The cadets gathered around the flames, seeking warmth, seeking light, seeking comfort. Morrison added another branch to the fire. "We should establish watch rotations, 4-hour shifts, 2 people per shift." "I'll take first watch," Harper said. "I'm too wired to sleep anyway." Tommy volunteered to join her. Kirish sat close to the fire. Her crystalline skin reflected the flames. She looked at Morrison. "Can I ask you something?" "Sure." "Why aren't you scared?" Morrison considered the question. "I'm scared, just used to it." "How can you be used to fear? Earth's a dangerous place. You learn to deal with it, or you don't survive." A Drellic cadet, amphibious, nervous, spoke up. "But you said Earth is mostly harmless. That's in the official records." Morrison laughed. "Yeah, that was a translation error, actually." Translation error. The survey team asked our diplomats how dangerous Earth was. They said, mostly harmless to us, meaning humans. The "to us" part got dropped. Silence around the fire. "How dangerous is it, really?" Kirish asked. Morrison threw another branch on the fire. Sparks spiraled into the darkness. "Depends where you go. Earth's got basically every kind of deadly environment. Deserts that hit 60 Celsius. Jungles with diseases that liquefy your organs. Oceans with storms that sink ships. Mountains where the air's too thin to breathe. And you just live there? We adapted, evolved, survived. Tommy jumped in. My grandfather grew up in Siberia. Temperatures hit -40, regularly. -40? The Drelic's eyes widened. That's impossible. Biology shuts down. Human biology adjusts. We wore furs, built fires, created shelters. Harper added her story. I spent 3 years in the Amazon. Jungle training, saw jaguars, anacondas, poison dart frogs, caiman crocodiles, brain parasites, flesh-eating bacteria. And you volunteered for this? Rixtar asked. It was beautiful, dangerous, but beautiful. Morrison watched the other cadets. Their faces showed disbelief, horror, fascination. What about your families? Kirish asked quietly. Do they worry? Of course. But they understand. Humans explore. It's what we do. We can't help it. Even when it kills you. Morrison met her eyes. Especially then. Thunder rolled overhead. The rain intensified. Something howled in the distance. We should rest, Morrison said. Long day tomorrow. But nobody moved. They stayed by the fire, finding safety in light and heat and the presence of the humans who somehow made this nightmare feel manageable. Hour 33. The ground started shaking. Morrison woke instantly. Years of camping had trained him to recognize when something was wrong. Everyone up, he shouted. Now! The cadets scrambled from their shelters. Confusion, fear, disorientation. What's happening? Kirish asked. The ground shook harder. Trees swayed. The stream beside camp started churning. Earthquake, Tommy said. Magnitude 4, maybe 5. It lasted 30 seconds. Then stopped. Everyone breathed relief. Then the real problem started. The stream exploded. Water surged over its banks, not gradually, instantly. A wall of water 3 meters high. Flash flood, Morrison screamed. High ground. Move. The humans reacted first. They grabbed injured cadets, started running uphill. The water hit the clearing seconds later. It wasn't just water. It carried debris, logs, branches, dissolved minerals that burned exposed skin. Morrison had Thelcor, still unconscious, over his shoulder. The Pelthian was heavy, but Morrison didn't stop. Harper had a Vryn cadet. Tommy was helping 2 Drelics. Keep moving, Morrison shouted. Kirish slipped. The water caught her, pulled her under. Morrison dropped Thelcor carefully and dove into the surge. The current was vicious. It dragged him downstream. His hand caught a rock. He pulled himself forward. There. Kirish's arm. He grabbed it, pulled hard, got her head above water. I've got you. He dragged her toward the bank. His muscles screamed. The water fought him every centimeter. Tommy appeared. He grabbed Morrison's other arm. Together they hauled Kirish onto solid ground. She coughed, vomited water, gasped for air. You okay? Morrison asked. She nodded. Couldn't speak yet. The water continued rising. Their entire camp was underwater now. Supplies, shelters, everything. Gone. They reached high ground, a rocky outcrop about 15 meters above the flood line. Barely enough space for everyone. Morrison did a head count. 21, 22, 23. Everyone had made it. Sound off, Harper called. Any injuries? Minor cuts, bruises, one possible concussion. But everyone was alive. The rain continued. The flood raged below them. Night was falling. We can't stay here, Rixtar said. His scales were pale with fear. We're exposed. No shelter. No supplies. We stay until morning, Morrison said. Moving in darkness is suicide. We'll freeze. We'll huddle together, share body heat. We've done it before. When? Every time humans got caught in cold weather without shelter. It works. They arranged themselves carefully. Humans on the outside, their metabolism ran hotter. Injured cadets in the middle, everyone pressed together. It was uncomfortable, awkward, but it worked. Kirish ended up next to Morrison. She was still shaking, from cold or fear or both. "Thank you," she whispered, "for pulling me out. Couldn't leave you." "Why? I'm not even your species." Morrison looked at her. "Neither is Tommy, or Lisa, or Rick Starr. But we're all cadets. We take care of each other." "Is that a human thing?" "No, it's a people thing. Any people." She was quiet for a moment. "I understand now." "Understand what?" "Why humans are so hard to kill." Morrison smiled in the darkness. "We're just stubborn, that's all." Above them, the sky erupted. Lightning. Not normal lightning. This was constant, sheets of electrical discharge that turned night into day. Then the real storm hit. Hour 42. The storm had passed. Morning should have brought relief. Instead, it brought visitors. Morrison saw them first. Movement in the trees below. Multiple contacts, circling. "We've got company," he said quietly. Harper moved beside him. "Pack hunters." "Looks like it." There were dozens. Maybe 100. Small creatures, each about the size of a large dog, but they moved with unsettling coordination. "They're testing us," Tommy observed, watching for weakness. One of the creatures broke from the pack, climbed toward the outcrop. Fast. Morrison picked up a rock, waited until it got close, then threw with perfect accuracy. The rock hit the creature's head. It yelped, retreated. The pack stopped moving, reassessed. "They're learning," Morrison said. "That's bad." "How long until extraction?" Kirish asked. Morrison checked his comm. 6 hours. "We can't hold them off for 6 hours. We don't have a choice." The pack attacked, not all at once. They were smarter than that. They sent waves, testing different angles, learning the defense patterns. The humans formed a perimeter, used rocks, branches, anything they could find as weapons. "Aim for the heads," Morrison shouted. "Make every throw count." The cadets fought. Even the injured ones contributed. Passing rocks, calling out positions. But there were too many creatures, and they were getting bolder. One broke through, went straight for Thelkor, still unconscious, still vulnerable. Harper intercepted it, kicked it hard. The creature tumbled off the outcrop, but 3 more replaced it. Morrison saw the problem. They were focused on the injured, going after the weak ones. Classic pack hunter strategy. "New plan," Morrison shouted. "Injured cadets to the center. Everyone else form a circle." They reorganized. Fast. The circle held. Barely. More creatures came. The humans fought with brutal efficiency. Every movement counted. Every strike was calculated. Morrison's arm burned. He'd thrown 40 rocks. Maybe 50. Lost count. Beside him, Rick Starr fought with claws and teeth. The Corvin's military training showed. He was efficient, deadly. "You fight well, human," Rick Starr shouted over the chaos. "You too, Rick Starr." A moment of respect between warriors, even as they fought for their lives. The pack pulled back, regrouped. Morrison used the break to check on everyone. Exhausted, bleeding, but still standing. "How much longer?" Harper asked. 4 hours. Maybe less. "We won't last 4 hours." "Yes, we will." "How?" Morrison picked up another rock. "Because giving up isn't an option." The pack came again. Bigger wave this time. Coordinated. This was it. The final push. Either the cadets held or they died. Morrison threw. Missed. Threw again. Connected. Beside him, Tommy was flagging. His throws were getting weaker. Then something changed. The creatures stopped. All at once. Like someone had flipped a switch. They turned, looked at something behind them, then scattered, disappeared into the forest. What just happened? Kirish asked. Morrison heard it, a deep thrumming, getting louder. Extraction ship, Tommy shouted. They're early. The transport appeared over the tree line. Military grade, armed, ready to fight. But there was nothing to fight. The pack was gone. The ship landed on the outcrop. The bay door opened. Instructor Vexithal stood in the doorway. His expression was unreadable. Cadets, he said slowly. You survived. Morrison helped carry Thelcor aboard. That was the plan, sir. The plan was basic survival. You organized, built shelter, defended against apex predators, led a multi-species team through conditions that would kill trained veterans. Just did what needed doing. Vexithal watched the humans help the other cadets aboard. His mandibles clicked thoughtfully. I need to ask you something, Cadet Morrison. Sir, Earth, your homeworld. What's it really like? Morrison thought about that. Beautiful, dangerous, full of things that want to kill you, but it's home. We love it. The Galactic classification is probably wrong, yeah. Vexithal was silent for a long moment. I'm recommending your planet be reassessed. Good luck with that. The transport bay was quiet. Medical teams worked on injured cadets. Everyone else just sat, processing what had happened. Commander Thross walked through the bay, checking on each cadet personally. She stopped at Morrison. You did well. Thank you, Commander. No, you don't understand. She sat beside him. Survival rate for Class 3 drops is 40%. For cadets, usually 0. First years never survive without instructor support. We had good people. You had humans. Thross looked around the bay. 5 humans, 18 other species. Every single one survived because your species knew how to function in hell. Morrison didn't know what to say to that. Thross continued. I've been reviewing the surveillance footage. You built shelter in acidic rain, fought off apex predators, survived a flash flood, held off a pack of Rex hunters, creatures that have killed entire military squads. We got lucky. No, you were prepared. Earth prepared you. She stood. The Galactic Academy will be asking questions about your planet, about human survival capabilities. I want you ready to answer them. What should I say? The truth. 3 days later, the Galactic Survival Council convened emergency session. Representatives from 40 species filled the chamber. On the main screen, Earth, rotating slowly. Proposal, the council leader announced. Reclassify Earth from Class 1 to Class 12 Deathworld. Chaos, shouting, disbelief. Class 12, that's impossible. No sentient species evolves on Class 12. The humans are clearly lying. The council leader waited for silence. We have evidence, environmental data, survival statistics, and testimony from the XR447 incident. Morrison stood. The chamber fell quiet. Earth has predators that hunt in packs, he said simply. Weather that kills without warning. Diseases that wipe out entire populations. Natural disasters that destroy cities. We've lived with this for 3 million years. It's normal to us. Nothing about that is normal, someone shouted. To you, to us, it's Tuesday. More chaos, more disbelief. Finally, someone asked the question everyone was thinking. If Earth is truly Class 12, how did you survive? Morrison smiled. We didn't have a choice. We adapted. We learned. We became dangerous because our world demanded it. And now? The council leader asked. Now that you're among the stars? Now we're still learning, still adapting, still surviving. It's what humans do. The vote was unanimous. Earth, Class 12, Deathworld, birthplace of humanity, handle with extreme caution. Morrison graduated top of his class. So did Harper and Tommy and Wu. The other cadets from XR447, they all passed, every single one. The Academy updated its training protocols. Human survival techniques became required learning. Thousands of cadets learned skills that humans took for granted. Kirish visited Morrison before graduation. Her skin was its natural color now. Calm blue. "I wanted to thank you," she said, "for XR 447, for everything. You survived on your own strength. No, we survived because you showed us how. Your species came from hell, and you taught the rest of us that hell can be survived." Morrison thought about Earth, about the storms and predators and disasters, about the beauty hidden in all that danger. "Earth's not hell," he said finally. "It's home, and home is worth fighting for." Kirish touched his shoulder, a gesture of respect among her people. "The galaxy is lucky to have humans. The galaxy better watch out for humans." She laughed, a sound like chimes. "That too. So what did you think? If you enjoyed this story, hit that subscribe button. We've got more HFY content coming, stories about humanity being absolutely unhinged in the best possible ways. Drop a comment about your favorite part. Was it the flash flood, the pack hunters, Jake just casually explaining that Earth has carnivorous plants? And here's a question for you. What Earth survival skill would be most useful in space? Camping? Navigation? Fire starting? Let me know below. Also, if you want more stories about humans being terrifying space orcs, check out our playlist. We've got hundreds of hours of content. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay human. And remember, if Earth didn't kill us, nothing will. Until next time, human out.